that does not mean that they were right in the sight of God. See how the language that they use. The granddaughter, Brittany Coper, and her husband have been fired by the network, which accused them of stealing $1.3 million to buy real estate and cars and make family loans. Quote, they're just trying to divert attention from their own crimes, said Colby May, a lawyer representing TBN. Janice and Paul Crouch declined requests for interview. Just a brief glimpse now into the high life of probably one of the most debauched, non-correct, doctrinally unsound religious broadcasting thing. I would rather watch Al-Qaeda television sooner than I would watch TBN. If you've been a watcher of TBN, shame on you. If you sent money to them, shame on you. Here's another article that makes me just feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Live bacteria to be released by Homeland Insecurity in supposed terror drill leaves startling unanswered questions. The Department of Homeland Insecurity plans to release a literal live bacteria on Boston area subways sometime this summer in what they have dubbed a terror test. Does anybody but me think this is not a good idea? The release of the bacteria Bacillus subtilis, which means subtle bacteria. Think about that. In Boston subways to test bioweapon sensors is apparently a non-event, with the corporate media claiming that the bacteria is completely harmless to healthy people. That's really encouraging. I feel safe now with the Department of Homeland Insecurity releasing a live bacteria. I don't have any worries. If the bacteria is harmless to healthy people, and some evidence has shown that Bacillus subtilis can cause miscarriages, what will happen to unhealthy people who may or may not be riding the subway the night this terror drill occurs? Many transients and other people that would be considered unhealthy generally ride the subway in the late hours of the night. Will they be harmed by this live bacteria release? And I'll tell you what I think. I think this is a test, not of a terror drill. It looks to me like they're testing a live bacteria on people who have nothing left to lose anyway. If it makes them sick and kills them, if blood starts boiling out of their chest cavity, these are homeless people. What difference does it make to them? And the United States government has shown over the years that they don't have a problem testing stuff on people that everybody else doesn't like. They have already shown. This is documented. They have a long history of testing stuff on people that nobody else likes, like black people, like soldiers, like homeless people. Does anybody but me think that this is a really bad idea? Let's talk conspiracy theories. I've got 2 articles pulled up that deal with the same issue. This is dated May 8th, that's today, 2012, from Tehran, Iran. A United Nations nuclear. Everybody do this. Everybody do this, okay? Everybody. Nuclear. Nuclear. Not nuclear. Everybody repeat it after me. Just loosen your jaw and your language will appear. Nuclear. Okay? It's sort of like the word realtor, not realtor, which is related to the word jewelry, not jewelry. Okay? Hey, look, if I can stop saying irregardless, you can stop saying nuclear. Okay? A United Nations nuclear inspector from South Korea was killed Tuesday, and a colleague was injured in a car crash near a reactor site in central Iran, news reporters said. There were no immediate indications of foul play, but the crash is likely to undergo intense scrutiny. The official Islamic Republic news agency, you can count on them to tell the truth, said the International Atomic Energy Agency inspector died when the car overturned around a heavy water reactor being built in Khandab, about 150 miles southwest of Tehran. Iran says the reactor, part of the Arak complex, will be used to produce isotopes for peaceful medical and industrial uses. You see, you need to get it out of your idea that the president of Iran, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, is known as a 12er, which means he believes in the imminent return of the 12th Imam Mahdi, the guy who's going to come down and lead the war against all of the Jews in the world to eradicate them and kill them all. You need to forget that, because that has nothing to do with the fact that Iran wants nuclear something. Has nothing to do with you wild-eyed conspiracy people. Now I suppose you're going to say that the guy, the UN nuclear inspector that was killed in the car crash wreck. That's what I was going to say. This UN nuclear inspector was killed in this car crash, and it was purely accidental. There was no foul play involved. Well, what about this? This is on WorldNet Daily today. I had mentioned, I think last week, Andrew Breitbart. The guy runs Breitbart.com. It's a news agency. I've been to it several times. They had good articles on there. Stuff that really and I'm talking legitimate news. I'm not talking about some wild-eyed, crazy Mike Hoggard news. I'm talking about real news. Telegraphs to the entire world, because he doesn't have a conspiratorial mind, apparently, telegraphs to the entire world that he has the most explosive information on the origins of Barack Hussein Obama. He's got the stuff, okay? And he says on I think it was on April 20th. On April 20th, I'm going to tell the world what I know, okay? That night, the night of the day before he was going to release this explosive information, that night, Andrew Breitbart ends up dead. Okay? So they have an autopsy. They autopsy him. The official autopsy report is he had a heart attack. Get over it. Move on. Okay. But one of the coroners on the team that did the autopsy drops dead of an apparent poisoning. Self-inflicted, probably. I mean, it's just suicide. Okay? Something doesn't sound right with that. And now, WorldNet Daily reports this. A private investigator has been unable to find the only eyewitness to the sudden death of media innovator and conservative activist Andrew Breitbart. So we have the coroner dead. Now the only witness who says, yeah, he's clutching his heart, and now they can't find him. The apparent disappearance of Christopher Lassiter, who says he saw Breitbart drop to the sidewalk in front of a restaurant, adds to the mystery surrounding Breitbart's March the 1st death. Is it March 1st or April? I'm missing something. Anyway, March 1st. All right. On the day the Los Angeles County coroner released Breitbart's autopsy report, a photographic technician at the coroner's office died suddenly of suspicious causes. In addition, at the Conservative Political Action Conference in Washington, D.C., just 3 weeks before Breitbart's death, where he promised to unveil, quote, damning new video evidence of Barack Obama's radical past that would change the election, Breitbart gave WorldNet Daily details of the upcoming revelations. He claimed to WorldNet Daily that he had a video showing radical weather underground terrorist Bill Ayers and Barack Obama at Harvard planning revolution in the United States. Revolution. I want you to think about this word, revolution. We're going to see it again. Okay? In the United States. But the video aired just after he died was of Obama introducing a radical Harvard professor, and the general response was flat. And I remember that, and I'm going, okay, so what? Okay? So now we have Breitbart dead, who had evidence of Obama and Bill Ayers, okay, planning a revolution. Breitbart had it. Now he's dead. The coroner who did the autopsy, dead. The witness who saw him clutch his heart, keel over heart attack, nobody knows where he is. Do you remember? I pulled this up. You can do this. Go to Google and type in Clinton body count. Who remembers this? Anybody? Anybody remember the Clinton body count? This is not the first stinky thing that's happened in relation to a president of the United States of America. You pull up, and there's dozens of websites that deal with this. The Clinton body count. It's all these people that had some kind of doing with Bill Clinton that ended up, they're dead. Okay? You remember James McDougal. James McDougal was serving a 3-year sentence for bank fraud at the Fort Worth Federal Medical Center in Texas, a facility operated by the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Jim McDougal was a former, he was a business partner with Bill and Hillary, and he died, suffered a heart attack. Imagine that. Charles Ruff, a Clinton lawyer, died in 2000. Let's see here. Who else can we find here? The most famous. Vince Foster. You remember Vince Foster, don't you? Vince Foster was the chief White House counsel. He was the head lawyer for Bill and Hillary Clinton. Vince Foster not only had a list of where all the bodies were buried, he still had the shovel. Okay? Vince Foster died of a self-inflicted, wrong-handed gunshot wound. Wrong-handed, I mean it was found in one hand and he shot with the other hand. Okay? In a park outside of Washington, D.C. And as soon as word comes out that he's dead, guess who runs down to his office to start grabbing files of papers? Hillary Clinton. So Vince Foster. Let's see. William Colby, Director of Central Intelligence, died mysteriously out in a canoe in the middle of a lake. Here we go. Here's a good one. Because everybody knows that Bill Clinton, probably Monica Lewinsky was, let's say she was not his first lover. Okay? Bill Clinton had a reputation. Jennifer Flowers. Does these names ring a bell?